Africa's future leaders. On this edition of the program, we introduce you to a survivor of one of the most devastating terrorist attacks in Nigerian history, who not only survived, but went further to enhance the living standards of vulnerable persons. Here is the remarkable story of member Feese. Member Feese is a development financial analyst at the Central Bank of Nigeria. Nearly 7 years ago, one fateful day changed her life. This is her account.
I was in university. I was doing my master's in the University of Sussex, and I was doing my master's dissertation topic was social protection in Nigeria. Why social protection fails in Nigeria. So I had to, at first I was not meant to come back to Nigeria. I was meant to just do Google, find the information on Google. But my dissertation supervisor said it's better to go back and speak to people firsthand that are working on social protection. So I came back. I had meetings with National Planning Commission, PENCOM, with somebody in World Bank, and that was my last. The United Nations building was my last meeting, because I was meant to fly out on the 28th of August. That was Sunday. So I had a meeting, it was 26th of August. I think the meeting was meant to start about 10 o'clock, that's what I hear, and I went to the building. My cousin was staying with me. I dropped my cousin. She had a visa interview to apply for her, so I dropped her there, and I proceeded on to United Nations building. Next thing, I wake up 3-4 weeks later in hospital. Almost a month has wiped out of my life, unconscious. So that's what happened. Then it took me a while to. I think when I woke up, I had not accepted. I had not realized the depth of my injuries, because I was in intensive care. Like when I was in the London Bridge Hospital, I was in intensive care. That means I had a nurse watching me 24/7. But since I was in intensive care with all these gadgets, I had to go to the toilet, everything on my bed. And one day the nurse just stepped, I think, to get a glass of water, and I was determined to go to the toilet. I didn't realize that I had so many gadgets, so many wires. I literally got out of bed and thought I would hop to the toilet. This is somebody that had not got to use my feet for a month. Immediately I got off the bed, I landed on the floor. That's actually when I realized the depth of the injuries and the depth of the blast. Because I just thought that, I just needed a prosthetic limb to get on alive. I didn't realize they had to teach me how to walk. They had to build my strength. They had to teach me how to eat, how to speak. So that's what I realized in hospital.
Member now walks on a path she did not choose, but she lives now to bless others.
I had a very fantastic support system when I was after the bomb blast, and I realized that a lot, because what we started doing is when a bomb blast happened in Abuja, we've gone to National Hospital, Garki Hospital, Wuse, Sokoro, all the hospitals, and realized that some people don't have a support system, and they just need somebody to say hi, somebody to just visit them in the hospital. So, and when we went there, if you see the smiles on their faces, so I think that's what gave me the strength and motivation. That's what, just to touch somebody's life, because I never know what a little saying hi, smiling to somebody else, or giving somebody a handshake, or just helping somebody. And most of them are hawkers, and they're poor. They cannot afford the medical bills, and they just need somebody to care for them. So we just started with the little things that we got. Started with actually paying the hospital bills or giving them food, and now we've grown to giving them prosthetic limbs, people that need limbs, we're trying to work with people that need rehab to give them rehabilitation. So I think that's what, if somebody did it for me, why can't I do it for somebody else? When we started, we just started as a team member, started an information sharing group. So if they needed blood, they'll just send a message, blood. Or if they needed an ambulance, where can I get an ambulance? So that's what. But when I started recovering, when I became conscious and started recovering, we said, because we had a large system, a large network, we said we can't let the network die. So we changed team member from just an information sharing group to an advocacy group, advocating for little improvements in service delivery in Nigerian system. Because we realized that so many things that we take for granted, but when you're in crisis, you realize that it's much needed. Like say for when I was in National Hospital, the CT scan wasn't working. So no fault so that. But when we started advocacy group, at least they were able to replace the CT scan, and it will save a next person's life, because you cannot move people in intensive care from hospital to hospital. So that's what the group has grown to. Now we've grown, expanded to helping other bomb victims, to either paying bills or getting prosthetic limbs. But we're now working to our ultimate goal is to open a rehabilitation center for stroke victims, prosthetic victims, anybody that needs rehab. But every time a blast goes off and you see the victims in the hospital, or like when the news organizations are interviewing victims, and you realize that most of the victims are poor people. They're just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like the Nyanya bomb blast, we met a couple that was literally going for their daughter's graduation. They were about to get on the bus, and the bus exploded. There was another guy we met. I think his family didn't live in Abuja. So he was about to say bye to his family, put a family in the bus, and he was about to say bye to his family when the bus exploded. To realize that lots of people at the thing, they don't have a voice, they don't have a platform. I have a large platform, so I think I have a platform to give a voice to the voiceless. Most of the victims don't have anybody. They can't reach the government. They just know their small community. So I think because we have a loud network, a loud voice, we use the voice to help other people, to share more of the plights and things. And since I have prosthetic leg, I noticed that a lot of buildings in Nigeria are not disabled friendly. Like most disabled people cannot enter a bank because of revolving doors, or you have to climb 2 or 3 stairs to enter. So we started making noise. We started partnering with other organizations to pass a disability bill to make all public buildings or institutions disabled friendly. Because a person in a wheelchair may have a job but can't enter a bank. How will you go to a bank to meet it? So we use our voice to do that, to just shed light in little things that a regular person may ignore, but it's actually detrimental to a lot of people, or important to a lot of people. When I was in hospital, I never wallowed in what happened to me. I never asked God why not. I just got on with life. And the good thing is, because I was younger and agile, anything they gave me, I would cross it in 2-3 days. Like when I moved to the prosthetic hospital, they said it would take me like a month to get used to the leg. Gave me like 1 week, and the doctors were surprised that I'm already walking without sticks, without bars. So I think because I had family and friends constantly 24 hours around me, I didn't have time to wallow and ask God what happened to me. But lately, now that I'm getting used to it, sometimes I fall, and it's little things like a stone that makes me fall. Like when I fall like 2-3 times in a day, sometimes I keep asking God, why me? Why me? But in the end of the day, I say I can stand up and walk. There's some people that can't stand up and walk, so that motivates me and say I can stand, but if I fall, I still walk, stand up and walk, and continue with life.